Welcome back, everyone, to Resident Evil Requiem. This is part 7 of our trophy guide and walkthrough, and we are going to get started by number 1 going around the entire chronic care center collecting all of the blood that was left everywhere from when Leon came through and cleared everything out. And we are also going to be completing 2 other optional tasks that you need to do if you want to solve the final puzzle. This is only going to take us about 7 minutes or so, and then we'll pick up Emily and leave. So for now, we can put a lot of this stuff away. You can take some scrap with you if you want to, because we are going to be collecting quite a bit of blood. So you're probably going to have to use it as you go, because you can only have so much at a time. Be sure to take the severed hand with you. So, first I'm going to head over to where the kitchen is and the dining room. And we're going to go all through this area collecting blood and picking up any leftover items. At this point, it's been picked apart by Grace and by Leon. So most likely, the only thing that's going to be left is just the blood for the blood collector. And at any time, you can take a look at your map to see on there where the blood was left. So here's our first pile of blood. It's a pretty good one. 30 is a good amount. It really only sucks when it's like a 10 or a 20. Those kind of suck, but you know, you take what you can get. Here, if you take a look at the map, you see there's not really too much left over here. But we're not quite done with this side. We're going to come back after we go in and take care of what we need to with the severed hand to do the final part. There's probably a lot more blood on this side because there were a lot of zombies left over here that Leon cleaned out. Don't forget to use your transfusion bags as well. There's not a trophy related to the transfusion bags, but I'm pretty sure that in the main menu, when you look at the different achievements that you can get that award you points, I think using a certain amount of transfusion bags does award you points. So just keep that in mind. If you find transfusion bags anywhere, don't just leave them in your box. Try to use them. So we're going to come through this way, pick up that blood. I'm going to head over to the blood analyzer once we collect everything that's here. There, I can craft an ink ribbon because there was a tin sitting right here, and I do have to do something with the blood, so we might as well. I think we were running a little bit low on ink ribbons anyway. So make your way over to the blood lab, and we can analyze the hand. Now, there are a couple of things that go along with this. If you look along the side of the blood analyzer, you can see that G equals a very long number. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Put the hand in the analyzer, and here you can see you can do this puzzle in 3 steps. Do all the way to the left first, the one all the way to the right second, and then do the one right in the center, turn it red, and this will complete the puzzle. And you get this Let's Play with GGC, AAG, AUA, ACG, UGU, CAU. Now, you may not know what that means, but we just got a hint on the side of the analyzer because G equals The numbers there are the distance from the Earth to the sun. And everything so far has been celestial. So you may want to make a note of that G equals sun. And the code. You'll want to write down that code, that long code of letters. Yeah, so just write it down somewhere, because on your next playthrough, if you are going to attempt the final puzzle, then you need to know this. And yes, we will be finding out what U, C, and A mean as well later on. So for now, if you've collected all the blood everywhere, you'll want to head over to the bathroom on the other side of the care center. So everything's pretty well lit in here. You should remember there was a bathtub full of blood over here. Way in the beginning of the game, like one of the very first files that we got, there was a bloody 8 scrawled on a stall where there was a toilet. So what we're going to do is choose any toilet and flush it 8 times. It cannot be less than 8. It has to be exactly 8 times. So what we did with the bodies, dropping the bodies for 15 minutes, making sure all the bodies that went through the grinder were alive, getting a ton of blood, all of that combined with flushing the toilet 8 times is going to cause something to happen later on that will allow us to actually complete the final puzzle. And I think that's going to happen later on in this video. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just checking my notes because I'm not exactly sure how it falls. But yes, later on in this video, we'll see what flushing the toilet 8 times caused. So, with all of our blood, craft whatever you need to craft. You can put the severed hand away once you've analyzed the blood, and really you don't need it anymore. Be sure to grab the quartz so that we can get out of here. Get everything you think you might need, ammo, and whatever else, before you pick up Emily and exit the chronic care center. So once you get her, let's get out of here. Go up the stairs and place your final quartz into the door. And after 7 videos, or 6 1/4 videos, we can finally move on and get out of here. Once you open the door and exit, you get the It's Been a Long Night trophy for leaving the chronic care center. And this is a story-related trophy. You cannot miss it. Once you leave, you will be out in the courtyard. And when you go down the stairs, I don't even know why this is here, but for some reason, if you go down the stairs and look on the chairs here, you're going to find antique coin number 22. I don't know why. Like, you can't use them anywhere else. I don't really understand why they would put it here. Unless they're going to add something later. I know that there is going to be DLC for this. It's probably not going to be out for a while. But maybe the excess antique coins will be used for something else. I really don't know, honestly. If you come around the other side of the fountain, there is a green herb here. And there's really nothing else, so you can just head straight for the helipad. And once you get close enough, you'll get a cutscene. You can see there's a door by the red light over there. Keep that in mind.
Stay right there.
Once the cutscene is over, you're going to have to find the helicopter key. You're going to leave Emily with this nice man here, and you're going to have to go inside this tiny house and look for a key. But of course, it's never as simple as that. Couldn't possibly be. When you first walk in on this table, you get the visitor record, which is file number 42. Be sure to grab that before you move on. In the next hallway, you have an item box here if you need it. I do recommend making sure that you have some slots open, and you might as well put that antique coin away because you can't use it for anything. So come into the next room once you've made sure you have a couple of spaces. And in this office, you want to go to the left and pick up this wine bottle, which should look very familiar for all you Village fans. Just twist the top until you can make out the grapes, and you can open up the wine bottle to get the double helix model, which we need to progress. There are several items in here that you can interact with, but not all of them are important. Like, say right here, you can look at this book, but this isn't a file. It doesn't do anything. On the desk, however, you will find file number 43, the note regarding research results. You want to make sure to look at that before you move on. You can also interact with that little globe model there, but here you want to take this sand timer, unscrew the sides to where you get it just by itself off of the base. You get the hourglass, and what we're going to do is let the sand run out and zoom in on it. And as you turn it, you can see there's writing on the inside, and you have to wait for the sand to get out of the way to see what it is. And it says U equals a very long number. Well, U is the distance between the Earth and the Moon. So you may want to keep that in mind. G equals sun, U equals moon. We still don't know what C and A mean. That'll come later. Go into the center of the room to this little console podium thing here. Place the double helix inside, and you will see that the entire room is actually an elevator. So take the elevator ride down. We really don't have a choice because once you place the double helix model, the room just starts moving. So it is a really cool visual though. And when you get to the bottom, if you're facing the door that you entered, on the left will be the door to exit. And you'll see kind of like a waiting room type office area. There is a save here. There's a box here. Anything that you need to do, you can drop off that hourglass because we don't need it anymore. On the table next to the item box is Spencer's Research 2. This is file number 44, and you want to make absolutely sure that you grab that. So right here you can see that there is a typewriter where you can save, but we're not going to save right now because we are going to make a big loop and end up back up in this room, and it makes more sense to save when we come back through. So when you go downstairs and enter this room, make a note of all of these canisters that are dotted everywhere around the room. We're going to be needing those later. Take notice of all of the bodies that are locked up in these different cases. These are test subjects that are being experimented on. On the other side of the room from where you enter, you can go to the left, open up this drawer, and there will be a med injector. Unless you're playing on Insanity, the med injector will be there. And on the other side, on this gurney, be sure to pick up file number 45, subject 170 record. This says that blood of 115 infected were used on test subject 170. That's where we get the amount of bodies that we need to drop when we're in processing. Okay, so just so you know, that's where that comes from, that file. Here on the ground, you'll see a canister that's empty and blood spatter everywhere. So that should give you an idea of what we're going to be using that for. Go through the door to the next room, and you'll find file number 46. On this table, Grace Ashcroft Blood Analysis Report is here near this computer. Be sure to grab that. In the very next room, next to the blood-soaked gurney, you can find Mr. Raccoon number 9, and he's just dancing his little heart out right here. We don't have a knife to knife him, so I'll have to use a bullet, unfortunately. Turn around, and near this computer, you're going to find the helicopter key. Now, because of the way we entered, because we were literally in a room that descended down. We don't really have a way to get back up. So we're going to have to interact with the computer in order to disable the security system, allowing us to exit a different way, because we have no way of getting back up that strange elevator. When you come through this door, you'll get a cutscene. And I did come over here. You don't need to. You can just immediately exit the room. I was just looking to see if there was anything over here, because for some reason I thought there was, but there is not. So you can just exit and you're immediately back into the room that we started in. I'm going to make a save right here because it makes a lot more sense to save right before the tough part. When you get back down into this room, grab the nearest canister that you can. You're not going to be using a gun. You're going to use this canister to fend off the zombies. And this part can be quite frustrating because these guys are tougher. They're the test subject zombies. And whatever's in this canister makes them explode. You're going to want to get away from them as quickly as possible. And they do knock you around quite a bit, and it takes a minute for the canister spray to actually, it's like they have a delayed response to it, so keep that in mind. There are quite a few of them around here, and you can kind of bump them, you know, with the canister spray to kind of get them off your back, but it takes a lot to make them explode. So just do the best that you can. And once you see this door here open, it was not open earlier. It will be open now since we used the computer. Then you know this is the correct way to go. And here is the part where we find out what all of the hard work for the final puzzle was actually about. This large circular ball just explodes and all this blood comes out. And here at the base of the stairs on the left, you will find Marie's doll. Now, if you didn't do everything, if you didn't flush the toilet 8 times, if you didn't wait at least 15 minutes and make sure that the zombies that came alive in the grinder went into the grinder alive, you will not see her doll there. But we got it. We just need it. We're going to put it in our safe, or in our safe item box. I'm sorry. You'll have something to do with it on the next playthrough. It will stay in your item box. Follow the linear path, and when you get here, you have to turn right and sneak through where that pipe is. And as you come up the stairs where the blood is constantly flowing down, stay to the left, because on the second landing of stairs, you'll see an item's going to come rolling down, and it can injure you if you're standing in the way. So stay to the left when you're climbing the stairs. And eventually you're going to come across a ladder. Go ahead and climb up. And I'm sure you'll remember I pointed out when we first walked toward the helipad, there was a door up on the hill. That's the door we are exiting from right now. Come down this hill to the right. There will be one lone zombie. I'm just gonna get him off my back because there's a green herb to the left near the dumpster that I want to grab before we enter the window. And once you come out here, there will be a cutscene. And once this cutscene is over, we're going to take over playing as Leon. And we're going to pick up right where his story left off, in the exact same room that he entered when we finished playing with him last. So, we now have a sniper rifle. We're going to be doing some protection work for Grace. There's nowhere else that we can go, so just jump through the window here and cross the rooftop.
Sherry, Grace
I keep looking down to the side. I can see some zombies walking over there. They're making their way toward where the fire is.
She's connected to this somehow.
But in the courtyard, there is Mr. Raccoon number 10. We just have to get to the right angle to be able to see him and hit him with the sniper rifle. So,
no.
Once you come up these stairs, I did try to see it from here, but it just isn't going to work out. So I'm going to go inside of this house here. To the left of the very first window, you can grab some rifle ammo, and you'll want to look down at where the white globe lights are. Mr. Raccoon number 10 is sitting right next to the far white globe light, so be sure to take him out. And then make your way through here, pick up any ammo that you see, break any boxes, and we are going to begin protecting Grace. You can see her standing there holding Emily, and we need to get rid of all of the zombies nearby so that she can try to get into that church. And of course, the door is going to be locked, so she's going to have to really try hard to get in. And be careful, because where she's standing right now, there is a red exploding canister right next to her. If you explode that when she's too close, it will kill her. So be very, very careful. For the most part, this is just standard fare, you know, protect the vulnerable player. The zombies are going to come from everywhere. They're going to come from the left and the right, close to where the church is. And they're also going to walk right up to her from directly in front of the church down the pathway. So try to reload every chance that you get so that you're never surprised because you don't have any ammo loaded in. Keep an eye out for the zombies coming from all different areas, but reload when you can, because you see how quickly zombies can start spilling over the sides near her. Also, keep an eye out because the chef is going to make a reappearance. There he is. If you can, try to hit the red exploding barrel when he's nearby, and it will kill him right away. Otherwise, it's going to take 3 rifle shots. So there, I cut it a little bit close with my reloading. I should have tried to reload sooner, but that was kind of tough to do because there were a lot of zombies at once, and then the chef takes 3 bullets just by himself, so that's half of a full load. Okay, so she got inside of the church. I'm gonna make a quick run through just to make sure that I picked up absolutely everything that I could, but I'm pretty sure that I did. So we can just hop over the side of the railing here to get down to meet Grace. And of course, Leon always has to land in style. We are going to switch out our weapon here because there will be a couple of lone zombies. I think it's just, you know, maybe like 3. There's a throwable right here. You can throw it before they get there. Let them get kind of close to it and explode them. There are some zombies over in that other area, but they're not a problem right now. There are handgun bullets inside of the helicopter and a couple other items scattered around, and there should be 1 zombie coming up the path. Since I didn't explode the red barrel earlier, I'll just take care of it now because there won't be anything else around here. And we can go ahead and enter the church. You'll have a cutscene. And once the cutscene ends, you have this monstrosity. You can see those bulging, bubbling blisters all over his body. Obviously, that's the target, but there's a trick to this. Every time you explode one of those, if there are any zombies around that have a head attached to them, whether you killed them or not, if their head is intact, they will turn into a blister head. So unless you completely get rid of their head, like with the hatchet, you're going to have blister heads everywhere. It sucks because this guy has 4 pustules that have burst, so there's a lot of blister heads running around. Underneath those stairs, you can find a med injector and a hand grenade, and I will say that the hand grenades work really, really well on taking that guy out. don't forget, the enemies often drop throwable items like that axe right there. Trying to get away from this guy, but in the last second. It's okay. I just picked up a med injector, so I guess that means the game wants me to use it. I'm going to throw a grenade. It actually works really well, and if there are blister heads around him, that's also going to hurt them pretty good. Now we do have a melee attack. If he has enough damage done to him, it will burst the pustule. And I feel like it takes so long for Leon to fire his shotgun. I don't really get it, but try another grenade. Hopefully this will take him out. It didn't, but at least I staggered him. He's gone, so I should be able to take out the last of the enemies. You can't get out of this room until every enemy is taken care of. One more. Let's use the throwable. And then hatchet. And it'll give you just a couple of seconds to go around the room if you need to and collect any items. Over there where we went up the stairs, you have to go up there first if you want to collect the items up there, or use the red canister, because once it catches on fire you can't go up there anymore. So go up there relatively early. Once the cutscene will automatically start, and when it ends you'll be playing as Grace again, and you're trying to get Emily out of there, and she is injured from the helicopter crashing, so this is really going to suck for her, because for some reason, the church is directly connected to the water treatment plant. I have no idea why. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. And we just go with the flow. So, run through these very gross tunnels and make your way through the water treatment plant. When you get up these stairs, you'll see a green light here. We can't do anything with it right now, but once we put Emily down, we'll be coming back in here to do, I guess, like a hide and seek kind of puzzle. Come to the very brightly lit room. You'll have a short cutscene and you'll set Emily down. There are a lot of items in here. Be sure to grab them all. There's a transfusion bag over on that barrel. You have an item box. On the counter you have a Requiem ammo. You'll also find file number 47 and a med injector. The roof hatch manual is file number 47, and it's pretty much telling you, oh, you're going to try to open the roof hatch and it's going to break, so you're going to have to fix it. Stop off at your item box, drop off anything that you don't need, or use whatever you need to, and be sure to equip your Requiem. We are going to need it because we're going to grab us a trophy in the beginning of the next video, and we need the Requiem in order to do that. You don't have to take all the ammo with you. We're actually going to get quite a bit of ammo, so don't worry about that. Just, make sure you have at least a bullet, maybe two, inside already. You can pick up the ink ribbon that is right here and make your final save. We're going to pick up on part 8. So thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, Khajiit always has wares.